Did you know that if you're at primary school, you need between 10 and 11 hours of sleep every night in order to function at your best? We know that if you're looking after your mental well-being, getting a good night's sleep is absolutely essential. It's a bit like plugging an electric car in overnight, making sure that we fill up our batteries, that we're properly rested, we can function, we can make good decisions, and that we feel at our best. There are some things that we know definitely interfere with our ability to fall asleep at night. For example, screens give out a light that stop our brain from knowing that it's time to shut down, relax, and fall asleep. So it's a good idea to avoid screens before bed if you can. We also know that too much sugar and too much caffeine act as stimulants. That's like the opposite of relaxing. They make it very difficult for us to get to a point where we're ready to drop off and drift into a night's sleep. But sometimes we're doing all the right things. We're not looking at screens, we've got a healthy diet, we're getting to bed nice and early, and still it's really difficult to fall asleep. That was the situation for this week's letter writer, who told me that she's finding it really difficult to fall asleep before 10 o'clock each night. As a result, she's overtired and she doesn't know what to do. So, let's see if I can help. If you're somebody who carries lots of worries around with you and finds it difficult to let them go at bedtime, and lots of people feel this way, so if you're one of those people, it's completely normal, then it's useful to find a way to let some of those worries go, because it's very difficult to fall asleep if your brain is racing. Could you start by getting a journal or a notebook and a pencil and putting it by your bed? And then when you get into bed in the evenings, you can write everything down that's in your head. Doesn't matter whether the worry is big or small, get it out of your head and put it down on paper. Because whilst we do recommend that it's a great idea to talk to people about the way that you feel, bedtime is not a great time to do it. So if you've scribbled everything down and got the ideas out of your head, then the next morning, if they're still worrying you, you could talk to a grown-up about them. Everything that we do in our life involves a little bit of preparation. Whether it's going to school or getting ready for a birthday party, we have certain things that we do each time that make sure that we're ready for whatever the event is. And the same is true for going to sleep. So I suggest that you create a bedtime routine, something that you do every single night for the half an hour before you go to bed. Basically, it's a way of making your brain a little bit bored so that it's ready to shut down and allow you to feel relaxed enough to fall asleep. Now, only you can decide what's right for you when it comes to this routine. What helps you to feel relaxed? Maybe it's having a bath, or listening to some music, or doing some drawing, or some colouring. Work out what's right for you and then do it every single night. And pretty soon you'll find that you start to relax and falling asleep becomes much easier. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, I'm going to ask you my favourite question. What's the worst that could happen? Because if you can't fall asleep and you lie awake, it doesn't really matter. When we allow ourselves to worry about not falling asleep, it makes it even harder to fall asleep. So if you find yourself lying there at night, the lights are off, the house is quiet, or maybe you can hear some voices downstairs, try tensing all the muscles in your body and then slowly relaxing them. Use your imagination, starting with your toes and moving all the way up to the top of your head, to imagine each muscle relaxing completely. Notice the sounds around you, the smells, notice what you can see and what you can't see, and allow yourself to get into a state of complete rest. I hope that that's helpful, that you get a good night's sleep and have sweet dreams. Thank you for writing to me.